Welcome to Simon on the Sofa. I need to say nothing other than play on, maestro.
I didn't mean to steal it, it was literally sitting in front of me, ignition on. The night was freezing and no one could see me, so I just got inside to keep myself warm. It took a long time to believe the best things in this life are free. The lights on the dash were so nice, you know, the blue and red type, and a readout for your speed. Smelt of a woman's perfume, a packet of Lucky Strike were there just for me. It was as I looked into the glove box for a light, then I saw a little note saying, good luck, enjoy the ride. And it took a while to stop looking at the rear view and accept my gift and what I'd got. It was hard to believe I deserved it. Some nights I'd leave it, engine running and unlocked. Then one day it finally came to me. The best things, the best things, the best things in this life, the best things in this life are free. Got nothing, but I begin again. Got nothing, but now I'm in and I'm free. Yeah, now I'm in and I'm free. Yeah, now I'm in and I'm free.
Woo! But cheers from the crowd. I feel like two. Told you I'd love his music. Thank you. Nice
one, man.
Jont on the Sofa. So this was, what's on your mind? What comes up? I love that. You know, things in life are free. Things that make any, you know, I mean anything are free.
I went to a pop-up, what was it called? What's it called when you have a pop-up thing? Flash mob. I went to a flash mob meditation today. That was kind of on my mind. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That was free.
Yeah.
It was quite nice to sit there and get, suddenly you just go into this zone and then walk off again. Not me anymore.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I know the guys have been to one as well down at the museum, the British Museum, I think. Yeah, and they're popping up everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen one before. And then tonight, I guess what's on my mind is I'm doing this Unlit tonight, which you're going to be coming and doing something at. So I'm looking forward to that.
Likewise. Which is Unlit is also where you travel around and as the love I've been calling you the love troubadour.
Really?
You know?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because obviously this album, Whole Again, has become sort of my most played album since we met at the last Unlit gig, which was, how long ago was that now?
That was about 3 months ago.
That's for about 3 months ago, so since then. And I wear your t-shirt that you gave me to my events, which says, you know, we are one. So, you know, you've sort of become part of my life.
Oh, cool.
So it's nice to have you, you know, on the sofa. So Yeah, wonderful. So yeah, do you want to share a little bit about maybe spreading what you spread, which is what some call love, and how you spread it for free?
Yeah, I guess the things that I've been doing, I've been singing songs, and then I've been around that. There are other things I do which I guess are similar to what I'm hoping to do with my songs, but they're events and they're called Unlit. So that's sort of this celebration of generosity and openness, which I put on in people's homes around the world. And the host takes a leap of faith that only good things will happen if they create this gift for strangers and friends alike. And I get, they help me sometimes if it's outside London, or if I'm in London, I organise the bill just myself. And I invite people to come and play. I try to get really, really good artists to come and perform, and they only do maybe a couple of songs or one poem or something. So it's about an hour of performance in the middle of a party, and then afterwards it's a party, and lots of synchronicities happen, and it's just this kind of magical thing which I've been doing, and I didn't mean for it to become this thing that I do with my life, but over the last 10, 15 years it's sort of become this thing that sort of follows me around.
Yeah. And you co-create wherever you go now, right?
Yeah.
Like in America and the UK.
I've just been in America for 3 months, and then I just met a great bunch of people out there, and they were really into Unlit. So there was a little community that I did about one a week almost for the time I was out there. Come back here. So Unlit's a big part of my life.
A big part of your life, and a big part of your expression and giving. Because there's a lot of giving in there, but also as a musician, there's a lot of giving being a musician as well, isn't there? I know, but you play music for people to hear, right? And you put that out there for people to hear, and to express yourself. And one of the things I took from Whole Again as well is that I would call those, in my terminology, conscious lyrics. Conscious lyrics meaning, more about life, about being whole, about connecting to nature, about connecting to the unknown, as it were, and also, and really, just really empowering the individual, very empowering songs, which is what I took from it, and I don't want to say that there's not enough of that around and start to label it, but what's really beautiful is that, for me, music has such it's everything in life. It's huge. I mean, everybody listens to music. It's a big part of our lives, right? So when I start to come across more conscious musicians, I don't know if you see it like this. You might have just been playing music for all your life and you sing about the things you love, and which it happens to be this stuff. But I feel that there's talk of this ripple, of humanity's ripple, of this more, that we're moving into a more conscious, aware state. Is that something that you've thought of, or you've been a part of, or it's just that you've just played music that you love,
Well, I certainly feel it's difficult to get away from the sensation that over the last couple of years things have been becoming, just simply by the amount of people talking about us coming into some new age or some way of people being more conscious or whatever. It just seems to be around people. And certainly in my life, things have got more interesting and more exciting. Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows what the truth is about all that stuff. In terms of my music, I've always been on a certain. Since I was very lucky to always know that I wanted to be a poet or a songwriter, or just have to do that since I was about 13, 14. It was just, and I've always been writing exactly the same sort of stuff, and I've just been trying to. And I guess I felt that I was. I've always wanted to just write. I guess my stuff is just sort of echoed wherever I'm at, and that's what that's how I look at it. People say, "What do you write your songs about?" and stuff. It's like, well, we're all trying to, our different ways, trying to evolve and get better at being ourselves, and have a better effect on the world. And the songs simply just echo.
That transformation,
exactly. So you don't decide what you're going to write about. It just comes out. So that's quite nice to realise that you're not in charge of what you write about. All you've got to focus on is how you fulfil your, trying to fulfil your potential and doing your best to be the best version of yourself. And then everything else just comes from that. And I happen to be a songwriter, so
you embody it in a whole poet, like you say, poet, songwriter, and so on. And you find it, because my passion about the sofa is about communication and transparent communication, and how if we show up from a more, what I call an authentic space, then it changes our ability to communicate. More mindful, more good speech, you know, and that has a ripple effect on everybody, you know, across the field. And more importantly, hundreds and 1,000 years down the line, you know, when we've left these bodies, you know, as we leave that ripple. Do you find it, because I sense the transparency in your music. So do you find it easier to be transparent through music as opposed to your own life, or is it just something that you just embody, just how you are wherever you are?
I guess I just always I guess we have similar aspirations, I guess, to try to be transparent and be honest and open and stuff. You know, like organise this event as a celebration of generosity and openness.
Totally.
You know, so all these, when I've seen the stuff on your website, I've always thought like, oh right, that's weird. We're the same sort of. So no, I think it's just like part of you. It's just reflecting where I'm trying to, what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And again, I'm probably answering my own question, because it's like when you actually show up from that place, which is like you write from where you are, you express where you are, we're always looking to just evolve and experience this, whatever this is, you know, more, embody it, engage more with it. And really the question isn't, you know, what you're going to do, because you've been doing that since you're 13. I think for people listening, and even for myself, it's lovely to hear you say that. I don't think you're that old, but I know you don't need to share your age, but you know, you're talking about
38.
Okay, 38. Okay, so from 13. So it's nice to hear that as well, that you've always embodied that from such a young age, because most people do say it's more of a new age of being, but actually that's all about perception. Might be new age for some people, but actually embodying that and expressing yourself to the best of your ability is probably something that we just do naturally and innately anyway. Do you see what I mean? Rather than going, oh, it's 2012 and more people are like more conscious and more expressing and more, but actually...
But I think I've got a lot better at doing it. Hopefully that's like, you know, so that's 25 years since I was wanting to do it. I think, you know, that's, you know, it feels like you get more, I've definitely got, sort of clearer, or something's happened in that time.
You practice it more.
You practice, you sort of become.
Like I'm sure you've become you're an amazing musician, but I'm sure that's become better and better, and constantly is, right?
Yeah.
You know, constantly getting, you know, tweaking and pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
One of the things that inspires me as well, which again, people listening, because I know so many people at this point, because of what's going on in society, sometimes we feel really limited and restricted in our creation. And one of the things that also inspired me is you're actually self-managed, right? In terms of like, you create all this and so on. So I don't know if you'd share just a little bit about that, because I know that there's a lot of musicians and a lot of artists that just find, you know what I mean? Always like we're looking for money, or we need backing or sponsorship and so on. But, you know.
Well, I had a long, you know, I think a lot of musicians go through a similar journey, and it's also a journey to do with going through your 20s, which is, or you know, that early part of life and stuff. And I definitely, you know, I had 10 years or so of, you know, being with different managers and different people. I'd attracted the sort of energy, you know, I wanted to be. I was like, oh look, I guess out of all the things out there, I want to be successful, and I want to be able to make money from this, and I want to be a rock star, or I didn't really want to be a rock star, but I wanted to, if there was one of the boxes, it would be like, oh, I guess I'll go for that one, whatever. Attracted around myself the sort of things like that, sort of managers who were big shot managers who wanted to make me into this big thing, and all that sort of, I went down that path and did that for 10 years, and after 10 years of all these things, and pushing and trying, and having this sort of concept that, feeling that I had to really try really hard. Everything was all about, I basically went on this sort of journey, and the first part of that journey was having all these people around and trying to get these big things happening. And at a certain point, I said, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to record these new songs I've written and pay for it myself. And even if they're just demos, whatever, I do, you know. And I listened back at the end of the day. I was like, oh, they sound pretty good. I'm going to make an album, and that's when I made.
That's the one, that Tom told me about originally,
And I made that, and then I decided, okay, I want to put it out on my own label, because I just wanted to get on with it, and that was when my creative life really started. And then it was like things have flowed since then. So that's 3-4 years ago, and I made 3 albums since then. And you know, I've had a bit of luck with the first one, and got some money from some of the songs, and you know, so it's just sort of like, so things just sort of flowed since then. And I don't know. I guess it's just like that's been my path, is to do that, and there's also an openness. I've always had an openness to to working with other people or things happening.
Collaborating.
But it's just sort of, this is how it's worked out. I don't know. It's funny how.
But it feels easy. That's just been, again, it's just been your path. For some people, there would be resistance to that, but you've actually gone through. It's nice to hear you say that you've also gone through that process. That I think I've got friends. One of the friends that I want to introduce you to, I told you about, Johnny. You know, who again, it's like no matter what, it's difficult not to get pushed into those boxes, isn't it? You know, because we just think sometimes that somebody else knows the way that we should go. And almost in a sheep mentality as well, isn't it? You know, it's like, you know, they've done it that way, I've got to go that way. Or you speak to everybody and they're sort of sometimes even quite limited in their way, you know, the way it can happen.
Yeah, and also it's a big thing to get over. You know, your ego and yourself and all your ideas, whatever. It's a big thing. Like the big realization I've had a year ago, which I guess is sort of the most sort of fundamental thing, is that I realized. I basically started meditating for the first time, and I know that's like a lot of people have been meditating for ages, whatever. I just came to it quite late, what seems quite late, and then I started, and it had a massive effect on my life really in the last year. And I started doing that, and then a few days after starting doing that, I played from this place. I finally was playing from actually here. I finally felt like I'd arrived. The race was over, and I was here, and I felt like I was, and I realized, oh yeah, all these things like, you know, 20,000 people in the audience, or winning Grammys, or doing all these things that you sort of think that you want to show everyone that you've achieved something. I was like, no, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to get here. I wanted to come from this place where all the artists I love sort of have come from, and feel actually like I've arrived at myself and I'm playing. And I had this massive realization, which was like, oh right, all you need to do is stay in this place and everything will come to you. That's it. You're done. You're done. Like, so suddenly I was like, oh, I've got 90% of my time free. Yeah. Because I was spending 90% of my time still, you know, however, you know, enlightened I thought I was, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm making my own records and doing stuff. I was still doing the same old thing. I was still trying to see if Sony would do this, or see if I'd get a manager to do this, and still wanting some sort of appreciation or a recognition or something that wasn't just, you know, still not really actually appreciating and realizing I was already there. Yes. So having done that sort of really sort of changed my everything massively, and sort of like life has been brilliant since then. And I'm just about to make my next album, and I can't wait, because it just feels... It's just flowing. Yeah, so... And it's wonderful you said that, because I've been going through a similar process like that recently, of like, again, thinking you've got to put more out. Even where I'm at and what I'm doing, and the people I meet, and like you, I started meditating a year ago, and I come out of my practice recently. So like probably the last 3 months have just been, I was saying to somebody the other day that actually I felt my cup was quite full, and then I started to stop my practice and stop other stuff, you know, and my cup was getting drunk from, but I wasn't topping it up. And then recently it's like, I've felt pressure from list, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, there's more to do, need to do more. And that actually, like you said, actually disconnects you, because when you let go, you receive, right? When you let go of, like you said, because I wanted to be an actor for a long time, too. I was for 10 years, you know, become a professional actor. And it was the same thing, BAFTA, Oscar, you know, need your naming lights and so on. And it's when you actually let go of that, it's crazy, but for people listening, they're probably like, yeah, okay, I'll just stop wanting it. But it's really weird, but there is an energy, isn't there, that brings stuff to do. Well, once you're in it, once you drop into it and you're there, you're like, well, that's all I wanted. Yeah. I'm here. You know, what else could there be other than being in this moment? And I guess the thing, if I would say to myself, if I was talking to myself there pre-meditation, because I was, before I started meditating, I was always like, oh yeah, whatever, I sort of meditate doing my own thing, you know, I'm already doing it, you know, whatever. I would just say, it's just like, yeah, but exercise, if you exercise the muscle that you have when you're playing your music, you want to be like completely there. If you just exercise that muscle once a day to actually being there, then it just helps. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. And it just makes it more likely to be there, sort of thing. I don't know. Yeah, no, simple. Simplicity is divinity. Well, I think that's wonderful. The wonderful play. I'll sing you a song. Yeah, more music, right? I'll sing you a song that I wrote the day after I had this epiphany. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I was living in a house in Sydney, which I'd, oh, well, that's a bit of a long story telling you how I found it, but I thought, okay, I needed to find a new place to live, and so I was down by the Opera House, and I said, okay, please, universe, please, could I have my place ready for me to live in Newtown, this place I wanted to live. By the time I've walked there, it was about a 2-mile walk away. I walked there, I had a voice in my head said, go down that road. I went down the road, there was a house with a door open with a woman sitting at a table inside. A voice in my head said, ask in there, she'll have a room for you. I went up going, oh, sorry, and she came to the door, she's like, yeah? I was like, yeah, I know this sounds ridiculous, but you looking for a housemate? And she said, yeah? And I was like, oh,
I love
right,
these
great.
stories.
And she's like, she just put in an ad in the day before. And I ended up moved in there, and I wrote this in the garden. So there you go.
All right.
It's called Teardrops and Pennies. You see, I'm going to have to tune up quickly.
Please.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Because otherwise...
This video is not going out in time for the Unlit, but you know you will be able to look at all of Jont's stuff on the page that I build. So you're going to get to see all his albums.
Okay. So many times I've wondered where this pain was. Thought that I should try to cast it out. But now I've found it, I just wanna hold it. Taught me how to be where I am now. Feeling right here in my soul. Teardrops and pennies that fall. Why we can be so alone, not be lonely at all. Feet up, I'm a laid-back creature. Freed up, the world's my teacher. We all live and die every day. We're gonna dance on the way, right here in my soul. There's nothing bad here at all. They say time takes its toll. I'm paid up, ready to roll. Laid back creature, freed up and the world's my t-shirt. We all live and die every day, but we're gonna dance on the way. We're gonna dance on the way. Now I've got all this love for you. I've got all this love for you. When this world explodes and we are all free, finally not the dreamer, just the dream, just the dream. I will be you in Simon, you will be me. Just like we all are now, and I always have been. Feeling right here in our soul. Teardrops and pennies that fall. Why we can be so alone and not be lonely at all. Feet up, I'm a laid-back creature. Freed up, the world's my t-shirt. We all live and die every day, but we're gonna dance on the way. Right here in my soul. There's nothing bad here at all. They say time takes its toll. I'm paid up, ready to roll. Laid back creature, freed up and the world's my t-shirt. We all live and die every day. We're gonna dance on the way. We're gonna dance on the way. You know I've got all this love for you. Oh, I've got all this love for you. Oh, here I've got all this love for you. Oh, I've got all this love for you. Oh, yeah. Well, I spent so long waiting for something. Yeah, now I found it. How do you think I feel?
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Nice one, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Amazing.
one, great. Oh, look, you can have those, especially
Amazing.
if you just sat on it.
Because I just slapped it in half. Thank you so much. That's the new, wow, how long? How old is this song?
That's a new song, yeah, about a year ago.
Coming on the new album.
It will be, yeah.
Thank you so much. Anything you'd like to say to anybody listening, other than what you just beautifully sang?
Hi.
You've been listening to Jont on the sofa, and listen, guys, this man is amazing.
Oh, you can buy, if you're interested in buying albums, which not, I mean,
Jont-
I don't
Jont-
know, you can jontnet.com.
Yeah, you're going to see that on his page. I'm going to build a whole page as I normally do. Guys, spread this video, spread the love, and sing, man, sing, full expression. Thank you so much, John. Pleasure.
Nice one.
Take care, guys.